Welcome to the
Green Room.
Paints, Games, Chats.
Come into the Green Room.
This is where the party's at.
Party at the Green Room.
Got guests here to stay.
Welcome to the Green Room.
Best party of your day at the Green Room. Hello, welcome back. Welcome to the Green Room. My name is Justin. I am your host. And with me I have two very special friends. Is that how I should refer to you guys, as special friends? It's
preferably from now on. That's
Yeah.
like whenever you introduce me to anyone, is like, and this is William. He's my special friend.
Yeah. I feel like that makes it feel like you guys aren't real, though. Is that, like, did you guys have special friends growing up? Because I feel like I did.
I like best friends, yeah.
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 Like
Yeah.
normal best friends.
If that's what you mean by special friends.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm referring to. Hey, what's up, ECAT Carter? Thanks for joining us.
Yay.
Okay, well, I guess I should introduce you guys, huh? So,
Okay.
yeah, if we get around to it. What's up, Ghost Pepper? Hey!
Ooh, Ghost Pepper.
Ghost Pepper, spicy boy.
I've recently gotten into hot sauces.
I want to know more about that in a second.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Our hot sauce aficionado is Andy Perkins.
No, I'm an amateur. I'm just now dipping my toes into the hot sauce pool.
Don't dip your toes in there. That would
Oh, my
burn.
tongue. I'm just now dipping my tongue into the
There we
hot
go.
sauce pool.
Andy plays Gavilan Justice in Pitfalls and Ponies on Sunday mornings on Ghostlight RPGs, this channel right here at 10:30 Central Standard Time. And over on...
Sip that mimosa, watch some ponies.
That's right. Get yourself a mimosa and chilosa. We're
There
off
you
to
go.
a good start.
Nailed
What? C. Vorbeck, what's up?
Steve Vorbeck, wow.
Did somebody text you and tell you to come watch? Because we were definitely
We've been
talking
chatting
about it.
you.
I think it was William. William Sinclair is here, folks. And what's up, William?
Not much.
Good.
Happy to be here. Excited.
Will plays Theodore in Blood of My Blood on Friday nights. Also on this channel. You can find him there doing his thing. We're going to talk more about both of your characters eventually. But first, I kind of want to talk about My Worlds Are Colliding. I know. They are. They really are. Hola, Bruholic Beard.
Hola.
¿Cómo está? First, I want to talk
That's
about
been-
you guys. First of all,
Okay.
just so Will and I met just a couple weeks ago, right before Blood of My Blood was started. We're both players in that campaign, and that's how we kind of first met. And since we've just become players together, I'm really fascinated. I'm really excited to learn more about you, Will. You've dropped these little breadcrumbs every conversation I've had with you, and I really want to pick up that trail, if you know what I'm saying.
It's always like quick, fast, like the 10 minutes before we go live or something, and so everything is very clipped.
Yeah, it is. No, it feels that way for sure. Impartial Pierre, hi. You're a Care Bear. Which Care Bear are you, Impartial Pierre? Which Care Bear am I? I don't know.
I don't know
because
enough.
I never watched Care Bears.
Yeah, I don't know enough. The nice one. They're all nice ones, right?
I think.
No, there's a grumpy bear, because
Oh, is there?
is.
yeah, I feel like I'm the embodiment of grumpy bear.
Thanks, you cat Carter. Yeah, Grumpy Bear, perfect. So, Will's Grumpy Bear. Andy and I have known each other. How long, Andy?
Maybe like 4 or 5 years.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
A while. Tender Heart Bear. Is that who I am, Cat Carter?
I remember Tender. Man, it's all coming back.
Who's
I
Tender
remember
Heart?
watching the Care Bears movie when I was a kid.
A
And so
flood
like
of
all of
memories.
these are
Sunshine Bear is both Justin and Andy. Thanks, Steve Warbeck.
Thanks, Steve Orbeck. We have to share that one. I'll be the sun and you can be the shine.
Okay, I like that. Anyway, Proud Heart Cat.
Wait, there's a cat too?
What?
Wow.
Impartial Pierre is
Oh, and an elephant.
lots of heart elephant. You really are. You really are.
That's
Pierre.
right.
Well, this is fantastic. So yeah, Andy and I have known each other for a long time.
We met doing the Shakespeare reading, right?
That's right.
That was
We
the
met
first time-
doing Shakespeare together.
Or at least the first time we had worked together and like started hanging out socially.
Yeah, that was the Tempest.
Yep.
And then we worked together. Maybe we did Hamlet together after that, right? No, you didn't work in Hamlet. Awkward. No, but anyway, point is, we are now co-hosts on a podcast together where we talk about Marvel stuff and movies. We make movies whenever we have free time, which has lately been not a lot. Care Bear Cousins. Is that
I
are
think-
those like specific cousins or like all the Care Bears cousins?
Yeah, they're like chat. Feel free to keep talking about Care Bears. We'll just nod our head
Just-
and give thumbs up. I don't know anything about them
Don't
except
stop.
they do the
Care
stare,
Bear talk
but the stare comes out of their stomach.
out of their belly button.
Right.
That's what I've
They
always
stare with
interpreted it
they
as.
stare with their belly button.
So, okay. Anyway, let's shift this conversation. That's where their animals come from. I'm only
Care Bear cousins.
Oh,
So
so
the
they're-
elephant and the cat are
Are
cousins of the bears.
bears. I see. Yeah, it makes total sense. I like
That
it.
makes
Sure.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk. Gotcha. Thanks, Pierre. Yeah. No, it's not a derail at all. You put us on the tracks to success.
That's right. Chugga chugga.
So, I want to talk about role-playing games, specifically of the tabletop fashion, the pen and paper games, if you will. So, this is something I kind of talk about with every one of my guests, seeing as we are a role-playing channel. What's your story, guys? What's your story with role-playing games? What do you think?
For me, it's like it's been it's trying to like imagine a time like when I wasn't like focused on not necessarily like tabletop RPGs, but like fantasy and science fiction, and that whole sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. I know like at some point early on I was really into dinosaurs, but at a really young age, I got like, and I got sucked into the Final Fantasy game on Nintendo, and that I was 5 at that point, and I actually bought, or my mom bought for me, the Nintendo Power guide for that game, and I
Oh,
had
yeah,
that
yeah.
for 6 months, and I read it from cover to cover, back and forth,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is the coolest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life.
It really is.
And
Such
like,
a
and that
cool,
was like the first taste.
Yeah.
But from there, when I got to middle school, I had a buddy who was into tabletop wargaming, like Games Workshop with like Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Fantasy. And when I got like, and then as a freshman in high school, I was introduced to a bunch of people who played Rifts, which is an RPG out of the 1980s, which is, if you've never had the opportunity to at least like flip through, there's a bunch of YouTube videos out that sort of explain like the craziness that system is and has become.
Are you saying
There's still
you said rifts?
Rifts, yeah,
Yeah.
RIFTS.
Gotcha.
I heard Risk,
Oh no.
and I was like,
So,
yeah, I love Risk.
Different game.
Rifts is a so Palladium Books had released a couple of different RPGs in the 80s, and they developed this system it's set in a post-apocalyptic Earth, but basically these time rifts open, and as a result, all of these other dimensions flood onto Earth.
Okay.
And what it allowed them to do was, one of those dimensions was their fantasy setting, and so all of us, and then they would bring in things like Arthurian legend and Merlin, and all of that sort of stuff comes through through the portal. And then you would have all of these like crazy cyborgs from the future, and they come through the portal. And so the game is this like mashup of every single RPG trope that existed in the 1980s. And it's kind of crazy because it's the crunchiest, like most power creep oriented game that's like that I've ever had the experience with. It doesn't make for great RPGing. They're still on their first edition, and the publisher refuses to update the rules.
Oh no!
And they're still cranking out supplemental material. I think they're up to like 50 or 60 different world books and all of these other different sorts of things. But like, for someone who was like 14 years old, hanging out, like going on camping trips for Boy Scouts, and everybody staying up until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning in the tent playing this role-playing game. It was like it was cemented at that point, and from there I've got gamer ADD, so I've played a ton of different systems and done a bunch of different stuff.
I love that though. Yeah. There's so much out there. There's so much content out there.
It's getting, and especially just in the last couple of years through a lot of those independent publishers, like the D&D's sort of resurgence has been fantastic for the industry as a whole, because that whole, with rising tides raises all ships type of things. The amount of really interesting stuff that's coming out is, I don't know, it's pretty great. It's a good time to be into tabletop RPGs, that's for sure.
Agreed. Real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to some of our new people chilling. Thanks for watching, everybody. Dark Plane DM. Hey, it's me, B. Hi. Sumquai. I'm gonna say Sumquai. Sumquai says Palladium couldn't decide on a setting, and it really caused a rift in their friendships. Clever. I love it. Nice guy, bad gamer. Hey, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. So we're over here talking about fantasy and sci-fi and role-playing and all kinds of stuff. That is you. You're right, maybe. You're right. But that got you into. I mean, so how long would you say you've been playing role-playing games?
So at this point, it'd be 23 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
Very cool.
at the time...
Thanks for the host, nice guy. You're a nice guy. Nice,
thank you.
Crazy. 22 years. Okay, I love it. So
yeah,
Andy,
I know.
No. I mean, I mean that's I'm jealous that you've had like people talk to me about how like they started playing when they were a kid and that kind of thing, and it makes me so jealous. I would have loved to have been introduced to this kind of stuff when I was younger. Personally, I've only been playing for I guess about 6 years now, and that's kind of when it was introduced to me. And I've tried to cram as much as I could into the last 6 years of my life to try and make up for those last 20 years. So that's right. Since you were 3, you've been playing since you were 3 years old. Is that right, Will? 22 years.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, since I was 3.
Very flattering. Thanks, Meebe. So Andy, on the flip side, how about you? What's your story with role-playing games?
I am a relative newcomer. So actually Justin right here is the one who kind of got me into it in the first place. Within, what would you say, like just the past couple of years, right? Like maybe 2 years, 2.5.
Yeah, that sounds
when we had our first session.
That's right. That's summer, right? It was my birthday. I forced you all to play.
That's right. That was your birthday wish. It was your birthday wish that you would host all of us in a game. But you did it. I really appreciated the way that you kind of eased us into it, because it wasn't like right out the gate, let's like do this whole campaign that we have to dedicate like so much time to and all of this sort of stuff. You're like, let's just do this one shot. I'm going to just hand you all these character sheets and kind of get you into it so that we can just get to playing right away, which I think was a great way to grab our interest.
Yeah.
And then once that was there, then I was willing to put in a little bit more outside work of reading the books and creating characters and that sort of stuff. So I do really appreciate the kind of easing in that took place.
Yeah.
But so since then, you've hosted a couple different one shots that have been great. The dog one, which was a lot of fun.
So we're gonna be painting
And
later. Yeah.
painting those doggos.
Painting some doggos.
There was a winter themed one where I think I was Jack Frost, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
Which
you
actually
were.
that was
That's
a
right.
really fun character. Um,
Yeah. You were
and then
Jack
more
Frost, kind of like
recently,
it was like a rogue sorcerer kind of
yes,
combo.
that's right,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. And more recently, playing Honey Heist was a lot of fun, which
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that's
Honey
made to be a
Heist.
one shot, but we were a group of bears heisting a pot of honey, essentially. Like that's the premise of it all.
It's very simple. Very simple game. You
But
bring the
so
fun.
satisfactory.
Thank you, nice guy. I am the king of one shots. I played a one shot with nice guy, bad gamer before,
Nice.
and I'm always down for a good one shot. I think it's a great opportunity to kind of talk about like to utilize what Will was talking about earlier with just like the vast quantity of different role-playing games that are out there, all like the cool indie ones, and just there's so many. And personally, I think a one-shot is a great opportunity for me to test those out for myself, and also to introduce new players to it with no commitment. You know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
hey, let's take 4 hours, have some drinks and some snacks, and have some fun together. And yeah. And I played with It's Meeby. That's right. Hey, it's Meeby. Cool. So yeah, moving on. My next question here: What do you think brings you back every time? You know what I mean? Will, you've been doing it for 22 years. Why? What is the addiction? What do you think is that thing that you just can't get enough of? And also on the flip side of that, like, what is there anything that still, after all this time, still intimidates you about playing, or is like a challenge? It feels like a hardship of some kind.
Yeah. I think the thing that brings me back is the like realistically, when you sit down to play these games, it's giving you the opportunity to sort of, explore these like radically different places with these radically different characters.
Yeah.
And we're all, theater artists and writers or different whatever to different degrees. And it's that storytelling element of it is always sort of fantastic because you get to have ownership over the narrative that's being created. I really, really like I play lots of video games. I play lots and lots of board games. I still play tabletop war games, but tabletop RPGs is the one area in which, me and a handful of people can sit around and, drink a couple of beers and, talk crap back and forth,
Right.
and then like build and flesh out this sort of world with these characters and sort of contribute to it in different ways. And like that's always what's been enticing about it for me. And so it's like I'll sit down and I read through the books. I've read more RPGs than I'll ever be able to play.
Really? Okay.
But just because it's so interesting to see okay, like this is how it's set up, and then this is like the world building and everything that went into it, and then your mind starts racing and you're like, okay, well, if I was going to do it, I would want to have like this kind of a character.
Yeah.
And then like for me that immediately like lends to like, and they'll be from this part of the world, and this is what's going to, this is what motivates them. And it creates this this really like a genuine storytelling experience that I think is far more accessible for lots and lots of people. That's why I think that the game has is kind of like there's such a resurgence of it right now, is that so many people are sort of tapping into it, because I feel like storytelling is ingrained in us as a species. And things like sitting down to like write fiction, or sitting down to write plays or perform in plays, any of that sort of stuff. It feels like there's all these barriers to entry in a way that that doesn't exist with something like a role-playing game that you're doing with your friends.
Yeah.
And so that it's just, you know, it's appealing in that way. As for things that that are like, you know, that still like freak me out, I GM, and so I guess putting together the stories and things for me can be a bit of that. I don't have nearly as much time to be able to create my own stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And so I rely on, like, a lot of times I'll rely on like pre-published adventures and all different sorts of things like that, just because it's such a huge time saver. But that stuff is great, not nearly as fun as coming up with something from scratch that you can sort of call your own.
Yeah.
And so, but when you do that, like, oh, I wonder how the players are gonna, like, are they gonna like it? Are they gonna be, you know, engaged by this? Are they gonna have fun? Are they gonna want to play next week? Or is this gonna be where they're like, oh, you know what, work stuff, can't do this anymore, and then all of a sudden I don't have a gaming group anymore. So yeah, like if I was gonna like name something as you know, being some sort of you know, thing that I worry about, I guess that would be it. Doing it online for the first time. I've never played in an online environment. Not played online plenty, you know, thanks to the pandemic. But have never had that streamed out to people before. And so that was a bit like getting up on stage for the first time when we started Blood of My Blood a couple weeks back, because I was like, oh man, of course I don't have any lines to memorize, so that might be a little easier, but am I gonna sound like a moron when I open my mouth?
Sure.
So
It's, yeah, I agree with all of that. I can already tell. I know we've only been friends for, I consider you a friend. It's maybe being a little presumptuous.
Wow.
Yeah,
this is like,
tonight is like, I don't know, man. There's like a 3-step process, and you're only through step 1 right now.
a lot of drama in this week's The Green Room.
We've only been friends for a little bit, and I can already, I feel like we would get along very well, and I look forward to having a beer with you one day, in person. We had a question from Kate5CZ9. If the players don't pursue the story the way you expect, are you more disappointed if it was something you developed yourself? It's a really good question. Yeah, Will, what do you think?
Well, I was going to say, I think it depends, because I feel like one of the mistakes, if you're going to create something for yourself and you run it, one of the mistakes that people will often make early on is they'll do the whole thing where they set it up and they're like, not only do I have an overall objective in mind, but I also have like the 15 different steps that they're going to take to get there mapped out as well.
Right.
And that's where either you get frustrated and you have to make everything up from scratch, or you just, and this is what most more likely happens, you railroad all of the players and you just start making those decisions for them, and they don't really get a say so in what's going on anymore. The thing that like, the more I've done it is like, I have a general idea of where things are going, and I've sort of planted all of these like plot points along the way, but I don't define how that's supposed to go. And so, you know, with a little bit of steering, you can kind of get players to head in a direction. And then part of the fun is figuring out what they do when they get there, because the best moments are when like the player does something that completely takes you by surprise, and you're like, well, I hadn't thought of that, so let's figure out how this is going to work.
Yeah.
I've never GM'd or DM'd or ran a game or anything like that before, but from a player's perspective, I can say that I really do appreciate it when the DM has maybe like a loose grip on the story, where we have direction, like I know what our group goal is, so that like we can follow our own personal goals in our own way as we as a group head towards this one thing. But
Right.
just like you said, like how we get there, it's up to us. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out, and we get this kind of nice back and forth going on.
Yeah.
And yes, ECAT Carter. So ECAT Carter runs a game that I'm a part of. It's Scooby Doo
That's
game
awesome.
that Justin's a part of as well.
Yeah.
Where
We
he,
use Monster of the Week is the system. But yeah, keep going.
yeah. And this on the map, there was no place for this, but one of my roles ended up allowing me to call forth someone that I knew that would be perfect for the situation. And so we invented this character named Veronica, who runs a vegan petting zoo that was going to just be perfect to heal our animals in the group. So yeah, and it was just like a fun surprise that now is a part of the game that we've gone back to. And she's a fun character too, so it all works out.
So Andy, let's keep going with you.
Yeah.
What would you say brings you back? What do you love about RPGs so much?
Yeah, I mean, I'll cut and paste some of what Will said because I mean, as an I do theater and I do a lot of improv as well, and part of improv is kind of collaborative storytelling, and so that is what I love about TTRPGs is this idea that not only are we telling this story, but we're doing it together, right? I can make choices and I can kind of have fun doing what I want to do, but I also get the joy and the fun of responding to things that I didn't know were going to happen, right? Because of everyone else sitting around the table or everyone else in the Zoom room. So I think you get the joy and fun of make-believe and going on these really fun adventures. And at the same time, that's coupled with the excitement of discovery and just the joy of collaboration, which is what keeps me coming back to role-playing games and improv.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. What would you say is the challenge? What would you say you still kind of fear? I mean, I know you mentioned you haven't GM'd yet, so I wonder if that's maybe
And
part of it?
I've been stewing on it, Justin. I've been thinking about it. I was actually I started to go back through a notebook of mine, as you do sometimes. You're like, oh, a notebook, and you just start rifling through it. And
Yeah.
it was early pandemic, if we can remember that far back. But you hosted an online DM workshop, and I took notes from that. And so I went back through and I started looking at the notes, and I was like, you know what, I would really like to give that a try sometime. So maybe it's just, and maybe the fear is that I want to bite off more than I can chew. But maybe if I do just start with a one shot, just like how I
Yeah.
started as a player too, I can just try it out and see what happens.
I highly recommend it. Starting with the one shot is good because you don't feel like you have to set up any kind of ongoing expectations and especially among friends, just like people that you trust and know that are gonna support you. Because take it from me, like I love having more DMs and GMs out there in the world, so it's good. Real
Thanks,
quick,
ECAT Carter.
yeah, ECAT Carter, thank you. I want to thank Andy V. Varner, possibly Andy Varner, Andy Varner, for the follow. Thanks, Andy.
Oh, thank you.
So cool. Let's transition and talk a bit about the role playing that you are currently doing, both of you, on the channel here. So let's start with Andy. Andy,
Sure.
on Sunday mornings, you play the character Gavelin Justice. It's always this like part of the show that I feel like a late night talk show host, where I'm like, let's
Tell me a
let's
little
roll
bit
the
about
clip.
the project
Yeah.
you're working on.
Yeah. And Impartial Pierre is totally right. Andy, you also so this is what we're considering like our second season, I suppose, of Ghostlight RPGs. But we actually started back in May of 2020 with a campaign called Childish Things that I DM'd, and you played a character called Rev in that. And everyone loves Rev, so that's that. But yeah, talk to me about Gavilan Justice in Pitfalls and Ponies. You're a pony. What else
Huh?
is there to know about you?
Oh, so much. Pony is
So
just
much.
one of the attributes. So yes, my name is Gavilan Justice. Just like with all of the ponies, the name really does describe the interest as well and the personality. So Gavilan is he's on the younger side. He just graduated from Philadelphia Academy. Uh,
I'll
so,
never stop loving that, by the way. That's
so he's just trying to make his way in the world. He does have aspirations, but kind of his passion is pony law. So
pony law.
he's studied it. He's passionate about justice. Obviously, it's in his name, and just the idea of everyone being treated fairly and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So that's, and if you've watched the first couple of episodes, you can also see that it can be troubling, right, or anxiety inducing to always try and do the right thing. I would almost compare him to like Chidi in The Good Place, if you've ever seen that.
Yep.
Where like the moral balance of every action is weighed, and it is almost paralyzing at times.
Yes.
So that's what Gavilan is currently working with.
That's perfect. I definitely picked up those Cheaty vibes when you the first episode. Like yep, that's who you are. I get that. So, Gavilan is a character full of uncertainties. Would you say the same is true of Theodore? So on Friday nights, Will plays Theodore in Blood of My Blood, which, if you're new to the channel, you should know that they're polar opposites of shows. Pitfalls and Ponies is a My Little Ponies.
You wouldn't think it from
world.
like the title or
or the promotional material.
right.
I love seeing the two images right next to each other. I like the banner.
It's good. Yeah, Blood of My Blood is a cosmic horror setting that takes place in the Dark Plane world. So Will, talk to me about Theodore. Why did you build him the way you did, and what do we need to know about him?
So my thought process through that, I had a couple of different ideas, and was talking to Graham, the GM, about them, and we settled on this idea of someone who feels as though they are very much certain on who they are and what their life is, and all of the uncertainty in that character is everything that sits underneath the surface, which I feel like is a pleasing parallel between the way that cosmic horror tends to work in a role-playing game, because the idea, like, all of the characters are completely certain of the world they live in, and it's about what happens when they get confronted with the reality that that's not the case. For Theodore, so I built this character who has all of the physical attributes to be successful, comes from a family that is known for being explorers and adventurers, and Theodore was considered to be the best and the brightest, and so he was going to achieve great things. And then as time passed, those great things never happened, and in fact there's a whole bunch of unfortunate things that sort of followed him around instead. And if you were to ask Theodore, it was because of the incompetence of the crew that he was with, or misfortune that seemed to follow him, rather than him being someone that was so headstrong and arrogant that every time when he would make decisions, he would oftentimes put the lives of others at risk, and this would lead to the death of people that were on his members of his crew.
Sure.
And so he gains this reputation, and so here he is, like, in his 40s, and he's still like, I know that I am the greatest explorer that's ever existed, so why haven't I discovered anything of merit yet? Like, what could possibly be the reason? And then for those that haven't haven't tuned into Blood of My Blood, in essence, we are all members of a cult, and I don't think I'm giving anything away by revealing that. And so Theodore was lured into this cult by Mother, the cult leader, who was promising him all of those things that he was expecting, and had never received. And this was going to be his big moment. And of course, things have like taken a woeful turn for the worst. But such is life. Such has been Theodore's life up until that point.
Right.
So, but the uncertainty is there because it's underneath everything, and it eats away at his confidence and forces him to do things that are even more brash and over the top, to sort of compensate for the fact that that he isn't quite the man he thinks he is.
I love it. For the sake of time, I'm going to move us forward in our conversation here. But I agree with
what fly by.
What Pierre just said. It does add so much more depth to Theodore as a character. I mean, obviously playing with you and whatnot, there's secrets that, as players we're keeping kind of to ourselves from the audience, from each other, and just different ways like that. And so I think it's it's really cool, and that's one of my favorite things about having you guys as guests here is getting the opportunities to kind of get a little more in depth, even just like if it's a few minutes worth into the characters that we're all going to be watching on Friday.
Can I add
nights,
one
Sunday
quick
mornings.
thing?
Please.
About how Gavel and Justice came to be in the first place.
Yeah.
It was literally just me reading through the Tales of Equestria book, the system that we're playing, and seeing that one of the special abilities was having an expertise in pony law.
Yeah.
And the moment that I saw that, I was just like, I have to base an entire character off of this.
Here we go.
Like, that is my character now. That's who I have to be.
Yeah. That's good. The true secret of Mother is that they are Danzig.
Oh yes, ECAT Carter, that is in the book. It's just a little, it's almost a sub description of having a specialty focus of knowledge, and it lists some examples, and one of the examples is pony law, and I was just sold. I hook, line, and sinker had to do it.
I think it's great. I think it's really cool how I've said this before, but how balanced that group is among each other, and like the different powers that you've all kind of, or I guess I should say powers, but rather like skill sets that you've all kind of attuned to. That brings me to my next question, the final question of this section, and that is, I'm curious if roles were reversed here, if Will was playing in Pitfalls and Ponies, if Andy was playing in Blood of My Blood, what kind of character do you think you would create in that world, or what kind of character would you want to play? Will, what would your pony, I always forget what it's called, your pony
Cutie Mark.
Cutie Mark.
Or you, yeah.
That's what I was trying to say, Cutie Mark. I always forget it. I don't know, whoever wants to go first. Yeah.
Well, that question, like, so you'd said that question, and I was like, man, okay, so like out of all the fandoms out there, My Little Ponies is not my wheelhouse. So what would I but what is in my wheelhouse is Call of Cthulhu, obviously Cosmic Horror.
Yes.
So like immediately, and this wouldn't be the player, like I think I would play like a cultist pony, and that's way less interesting to me than like trying to figure out like what old one that cultist pony would be like worshiping, because I was trying to determine what an old one within the My Little Pony universe might look like, and what they're like the whole sort of mythos behind that. So if I was going to play a character, I would be like, I'm a cultist that doesn't, like, I'm a normal pony, and then I would spend all of my time, I think, developing this elaborate backstory for the old one that I was worshiping within that world. So
that's so good. You're fueling all of
oh my god,
all of Emma's future storylines here. Cat Thulu.
Yes, there we go.
God.
That's so good.
Impartial Pierre he said worships nightmare. God, that's so good.
Nightmare. That's wonderful. Or the
It
money
writes
of
itself.
shadows. Good stuff. Um, fantastic. I love it so much. Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, is there
It's harder.
is there
It's less. It's not an IP that we're all like super like
Right,
attuned
right,
to,
right.
human marks and whatnot.
I'm curious if there's room for like maybe not someone who's in the cult, but like a cleaner or a butler,
Yeah, that's good.
that
That's good.
that is there,
Just
kind of
on the
just
ship.
just kind of cleaning up after everyone and like making sure everything's
Just
in the right
outside observer.
place,
That's so good.
just to kind
You're
of
like,
get a different energy in there.
it's like the Downton Abbey, but
Yeah.
of the family, and you're just you're cleaning up the poop deck and whatnot, watching all of this
Yeah.
go down.
Mhm.
That'd be great. I need
A lot of coin to be made if you're not going to ask any questions about
Nice.
what it is you're cleaning. Like walking into a room and it's completely splashed over with blood, and you're like, okay, this is just part of it.
All right,
Nice.
it's a living.
We must be discreet.
That's so good. Okay, so I was I was wanting to talk to you guys more about theater.
All right. We got 4 minutes left. Let's do it.
Yeah, we have 4 minutes or so before I wanted to move on to the game of the night. So I really I don't know. I don't want to crack this open. I feel like we should save it for another time. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want to?
Is there like one?
Yeah.
How many questions do you have that you could? Is there one that you could just
I
be
had
like,
23,
what's your
but
gut
I
reaction?
will try to
All right,
narrow
let's
it down.
one every 2 seconds. Let's go. We get 1 second responses.
Why don't I just ask you, in summation, we're all theater artists here, but you both have had great successes in the theater. First of all, like, give me like a quick summation of who you are as a theater artist, and then just tell me like, where do you see yourself heading in that direction? Does streams like this or live events or digital media, does that have something, some place, some permanent place in the theater industry going forward? That's a lot of questions. That's all my questions combined into one.
It's a great question, and it's something that I've actually thought a lot about. Is like what will theater hang on to after all of this is over, right? I don't think whenever people talk about like going back to normal or when things get back to normal, and I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
And I'm honestly kind of excited because I do think that theater can be more accessible, and I think being able to use the digital medium to not replace the experience, because the experience of theater is being in the room and have like breathing the same air and having that shared experience, but I think that there is something that the digital world can offer as far as including and access and just providing a different platform for things to be able to be presented to a wider audience that will make theater more accessible, more relatable, and just a little bit more in the 21st century, which I think is sorely needed at this point.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I also think it depends on how you do, like how specifically you want to go about defining theater. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because we've already established we've got about 4 minutes. But like my research specifically is in immersive theater, and more specifically like horror in immersive theater, which is where our conversation of Sleep No More picked up with before.
Right.
There have been some theater companies that have like looked at like the digital space as the sort of conventional, like, well, we can do stuff through Zoom and we can kind of do staged readings. But I'm also, there are a ton of immersive, and I won't call them theater companies because they don't even necessarily define themselves as that. But they were developing immersive experiences for an audience. And a lot of them have transitioned over into the digital space in really interesting ways. over the past 12 months.
Yeah.
And not only that, but because of those companies, I know of at least 2 or 3 other groups of creators that have created new offerings as a result of this, because all of a sudden they're like, well, I can do something like that with my friends because we don't have to worry about a space anymore, and we're not necessarily constrained by any of the technical requirements.
Right.
So I could just create this, and it'll be this online virtual immersive experience that people participate in different ways. And that's been liberating, and I think that sort of stuff is here to stay. This, like, Zoom readings, I mean, they may stick around, but I think that the more innovative and interesting things that people are doing with like digital mediums, but like radio plays and telephone plays and all different, that sort of stuff is the stuff that I think is still going to be here in 5, 10, 15 years.
I agree.
Yeah, there's more tools in our toolkit now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or at least
it's forced it upon so many of us to learn how to do these things and to learn a new medium. And so it's not going to be for everybody, of course, but I think for many of us, we've kind of discovered this, something that was already there, really. But
it's crazy that it took the pandemic to do that, because I can remember so many people like getting together, and it's like, well, I want to start like a theater company. I want to do this. Well, okay, we got to find a space. We've got to, and all of this stuff was sort of there, and like people could have immediately been like, well, let's think outside the box. But I feel like the second that people had those constraints placed on them, like it really upped everyone's creativity in terms of like, what does it mean for us to engage an audience, and like what are the possibilities of the storytelling that's going on there. As
E. Cut Carter just said, scarcity is the mother of invention.
Absolutely.
Makes sense. Also, I agree with you. She also said that she would love to attend an immersive theater experience curated by you, Will. And I want to talk more about the horror, the immersive. That's going to be a whole episode on its own. So keep an eye out, everybody. In the future, I'm going to have Will back on. We're going to talk more about this because it's something that I am just so interested in. But for now, I'm going to move us into tonight's game. So in case you didn't know, dear listener, dear watcher, today is Read Across America Day.
What?
Yeah. Just ask LeVar Burton; he'll tell you.
Wow.
Today's Read
I didn't
Across
text
America
him today.
Day. So you guys, after the stream is done, in a few hours or however long we're gonna go tonight, go read a book and fall asleep to it, because that's what
I will.
is trending.
Do it because it's trending.
Yeah.
No other reason.
Yeah. Thanks, Andy Vivarner. Take a look. It's in a book.
Reading a rainbow.
So along those lines, I have created for you a mini trivia all about books.
All right.
We've done this before, and basically I'm just going to give you, these are all multiple choice questions. Chat, I urge you to participate. I will try to give a small delay so that you have time to put your answers in, but put them in fast because we only have so much time here. So anyway, I have 8 questions for you. All right.
All right.
We'll keep score. Somebody will keep score. Impartial Pierre will keep score for us. I'm nominating him.
Thanks for tuning in. Please work for us.
Work for me. No, somebody will keep score. So, all right. Question number 1. What was Dr. Seuss's last book published before his death? Is it A, You're Only Old Once? B, There's a Wocket in My Pocket? C, Oh, the Places You'll Go? Or, I was going to say 4. or D, The Lorax? So again, A, You're Only Old Once. B, There's a Wocket in My Pocket. C, Oh, the Places You'll Go? Or D, The Lorax? Chat, what are your answers?
There's a certain poetry to Oh, the
Thanks,
Places
Pierre.
You'll Go.
Thanks,
B,
That's my thought.
the last one. And there's a certain hilarity to "There's a Wocket in my pocket" being
Yeah.
the last one.
Yeah.
um, so my guess is, "Oh, the places you'll go."
Will?
That's the same for me.
All right. Well, you both guessed C. Hey, Hotness, what's up? Thanks for joining us. We're in the middle of well, no, we just started a book trivia. This is the first question, and this is all in honor of Read Across America Day today. Thanks for joining us. So anyway, yes, you both are correct. It is C.
Hey.
Oh, the places you'll go. Congratulations to those of you out there who got that one right. Andy Varner. I'm just gonna say Andy Varner. I'm gonna say Andy Varner.
Andy Varner.
It's hard to say. And then ECAT Carter. Good job. Okay, you both have a point. Moving on.
All right.
In Alexander Dumas' thrilling tales of swashbuckling musketeers, which musketeer is the oldest, or the eldest, I should say? Is it A, D'Artagnan, B, Aramis, C, Porthos, or D, Athos?
I know it. I know who it's not. I know it's not D'Artagnan.
Well, spoilers.
Oh,
Just kidding. I'm just
what?
joking. No, there's
No, I'll take whatever I can get there. Thank you.
yeah. You helping
because he's like the new guy. Porthos sounds like the mature name, but the second one you said,
Aramis.
Aramis.
So A, D'Artagnan, B, Aramis, C, Porthos, or D, Athos.
Man, B and C for me are the
No,
two.
Who feels the oldest? Okay, Andy Warner. Good. I just didn't want to give anything away. Cool. Well, what's your answer, Will?
I'm gonna go with D.
D, Athos, and Andy,
I'll say Porthos.
Porthos. The correct answer is D, Athos.
Oh, nice.
Athos is the oldest, my friends. He is that fearless leader. Good job, C. Vorbeck. You got it. Good job.
Oh, I'm in good company.
All right, Will took the lead here. Question number 3. Which young adult book series was panned by religious critics as atheism for kids? Is it A, Harry Potter, B, His Dark Materials, C, The Mortal Instruments, or D, did I already say D? No, D, The Chronicles of Narnia. So A, Harry Potter, B, His Dark Materials, C, The Mortal Instruments, or D, The Chronicles of Narnia. It was panned as atheism for kids by religious critics. Specifically, the Catholic leader, I believe, is what the name of that,
The Pope?
No, not the Catholic leader. I think it was
Like he came out and made a proclamation.
Listen, y'all, I'm infallible, so.
No,
I
it
read
was,
a lot of young adult fiction, and I just want to let all of you know that this.
You can only read the Bible so many times. I do remember that there were a lot of like PTA parent-teacher associations that didn't like Harry Potter because of whatever. But I don't think that was an atheist complaint. I think that was like a Satanist complaint.
yeah, sure.
That
So-
darn witchcraft.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. All right, what are your answers? Lock them in.
B, His Dark Materials.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say that too.
Why?
Just to kind of hang with Will.
Okay. Well, you're both correct. It is B,
Yeah.
His Dark Materials. Yeah. Have you guys? So I haven't read the books, but I really want to now because I've been watching the HBO series, and this first season was like, yeah, okay. The second season, though, oh yes, they found their vibe. It's so good. It's Philip Pullman, and it was inspired by Paradise Lost, but they kind of flipped it on its head a little bit, and so it's so good. Yeah, chat's blowing up about it here. Narnia
Oof.
was a Christian anthology. Right. So obviously that was a red herring there. Harry Potter was a Satanist complaint.
Yeah, I remember it was when the Golden Compass came out. There
Mhm.
was a big deal about that, and like, and I went into that. That movie's not great. I remember that, but I do remember that like polar bears, like when they would punch each other so hard they would turn into like glitter, and at one point one of the polar bears like punched another polar bear's jaw off. Like I thought, like, and I'm probably butchered. Like that's not really what happened.
No, yeah,
but,
yeah.
like that, those were like the two standout moments because like I remember being like, oh, this movie's not very good. And then when the polar bears were like wailing on each other, I was like, yes, this is what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
That scene can save a movie right there.
All right. I'm loving this conversation in the chat, but we're going to move forward here. So, question 4. So, Will still has a 1-point lead, and I'm with ECAT Carter here. You guys are working together a little too much. So, I'm going
Don't try and pit us against each other,
I'm gonna
Justin.
give you
What?
a countdown. It's going to be 3, 2,
Oh.
1, and then you have to say your answer.
Fine. What do we win? Do we win something?
I'm
What's going
against
on?
ECAT Carter say. Yeah, you know, this isn't like... No, you win... You get to I
The
hate
respect
friendship.
of your peers.
Yeah, the respect of everybody in the chat. For
I've
doing the
lost
most
that
of the
long ago.
points. You win a one-on-one session with LeVar Burt.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, it's
All
just
right,
like in
stakes.
Community.
Stakes are high.
All right, so question 4. Going by in-world chronological order, which Chronicles of Narnia book comes first? Is it A, The Silver Chair, B, The Magician's Nephew, C, The Horse and His Boy, or D, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? So, quick score update while you guys are thinking. So it looks like Andy's score is 15 and... Wait. Oh, 15-10. Will is winning. Okay, got it. Thank you, Pierre. So yeah, 15-10. Will's winning.
Great.
So for 5 points, which Chronicles of Narnia book comes first chronologically in world? Is it A, The Silver Chair, B, The Magician's Nephew, C, The Horse and His Boy, or D, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Chat is kind of a little bit over the place here.
I phoned my wife.
No.
She loves these.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
B.
I'm guessing C.
B and C. All right, so Andy
Yeah,
says The Horse and His Boy.
Yeah,
Will
I'm guessing
says-
that because it sounds like an origin story for Mr. Tumnus.
That's so good. Impartial Pierre's pretty sure it's A. Well, I'm so sorry, my friend. It is B, The Magician's Nephew. Although it was the
That was my second choice.
It was the second to last book to be published. It was a prequel in which like Aslan creates Narnia. Basically, it's a whole thing. So cool.
So wait, did Aslan create the witch then?
I guess the witch's backstory is also in that book. Yeah, where she's actually like the queen of the land, and then something bad happens, and she gets turned into a witch, and it's a whole thing. I don't know. Listen, look, Chronicles of Narnia,
Which is how they did.
pretty
Like that's
sexist.
how they explain what happened. Like with Lucifer falling too. They're like, and he like fell, or it was a
Yeah.
whole thing.
Oh,
It was-
She
Kate,
was from a
Kate
different
5CZ9 has the answer.
Okay,
She's from a
thank you,
different
Kate.
world entirely.
Listen, those books, I never read them, but like
Idiot kids woke
I
her
read
up.
a lot of synopses for them and stuff when I was
She
doing.
was just taking a nap.
Yeah, so the Pavinci kids are the adult rulers in A Horse and His Boy. So that's after all the other ones.
Nice.
But well, anyway, I can't get into my problems with Chronicles of Narnia right now. All right, so question 5. Winnie the Pooh in 1926 is a book full of memorable characters. But which character wasn't introduced until the sequel, The House at Pooh Corner? Speaking of which, The sequel is named The House at Pooh Corner, and it's like my favorite title ever.
Oh my god.
So which of these characters wasn't in the first book? Is it A, Kanga, B, Roo, C, Tigger, or D, Owl? Guess what they do. Yeah. So A, Kanga, B, Roo, C, Tigger, D, Owl. 3, 2, 1.
Really?
See, I'm gonna say Tigger is not there in the.
Will's gonna say Tigger. Andy's gonna say Roo. Chat is saying Owl. Tigger, Owl. The correct answer is Tigger.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
Tigger wasn't there. Came later.
So tricky.
Ecat Carter has this book on your nightstand. Guess what you're reading tonight? I
The House
know.
on Pooh Corner.
The House on Pooh Corner. So I think Will has taken a pretty strong lead here. I think he's like probably 10 points ahead of Andy. But we have 3
We'll have
questions.
to talk to Impartial Pierre. I'm also Venmoing Impartial Pierre right now, so we'll see what happens.
So yeah, 10 points ahead, 25-15. We have 3 questions left though, so there's still a chance, Andy.
All right.
All right, question number 6. The Roman expression panem et circenses heavily influenced what book series? I'm going to say that again. Panem et circenses. Okay, let's see how good your Latin is, guys. A, The Hunger Games. B, Twilight. C, Ender's Game. Or D, Percy Jackson. Panem et circenses.
I guess we gotta wait for the countdown. Damn you and your rules, Justin.
The Haunting of Pooh Corner House.
That'll be
Thank
season
you.
3.
Thank you so much. That's good. All right. So one more time. Panem et circenses heavily influenced what book series? A, Hunger Games. B, Twilight. C, Ender's Game. D, Percy Jackson. Okay. Ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
D?
C and D. So Will says Ender's Game. Andy says Percy Jackson, which I threw in there because of the Greek mythology tie-in.
I knew it. It was a tricky one.
That's a trick. The correct answer, Impartial Pierre got it correct, is A, Hunger Games. 2 things about this. Number 1,
What?
Panem et circenses, it translates to bread and circuses, which, as theater people, we all understand is how they pleased people. You give them bread and circuses and they won't revolt against you, right? Which is very much what Hunger Game is all about. Furthermore, the actual name of like the country they live in, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but is Panem. I think it's called Panem.
Dang.
Something in there is called Panem. I don't know if it's the country or if it's something else, but anyway. So, okay, thanks.
Amazing.
Kate. Very good. Okay, so you both got that one wrong. Andy's still alive.
I
Hey.
don't see how that book was based off anything other than Battle Royale. But that's,
I mean, it was-
that's
yes.
just me.
It was based off of it. Just that expression heavily influenced it. Look, they can't all be Tigger and Roo. Okay, guys, I had to get harder. Good guess, Pierre. Okay, so question 7. What age of Middle Earth does The Hobbit take place in? A, 3rd, B, 4th, C, 5th, D, 6th. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. What age of Middle Earth does The Hobbit take place in?
I'm gonna get this
It's gonna be
wrong too.
This is a total guess by me.
Sumquai says Panem is the name of the reconstructed U.S. Yeah, okay, that's what I was trying to say, right? The country, right? Okay. Katniss Everfloss. All right. I mean, Dark Plane thinks it's too easy. Don't read the chat, fellas.
Too late.
Too late.
I'm relying on them.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
A.
You both said third.
Third age.
You're both correct. It is third. It is
Thanks,
third.
chat.
It's the third age, the age of Arda, that lasted for 3,021 years. From the
Ooh,
first
that's a
defeat
long
of
age.
Sauron by the forces of the Last Alliance and the deaths of the Elendil and Gil-galad. I'm just reading off of my page. I don't know any of this. In the future, we'll have Darkplane DM on to talk about it. 1934 age. What does that mean? Is that a joke? I don't get it. I'm
An age.
sorry. Explain your joke to me. All right, final question. You both got that one right, so technically speaking, Andy can't win now, but whatever.
Great.
This is for everything. This is for all the marbles. It's win or lose right here. Oh, it was when it was written. Thank you. See, now I get it. It's funny. That's good. That's good. You owe the difference if you're still Venmoing.
I'm working on it. Wait, I don't even know throw your handle in the chat.
Don't do it. Don't throw your handle in the chat.
No, your Venmo handle. You want to share that?
Oh, okay. Everybody will get you money.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Final question. Question number 8. Which of these novels is not set during the Great Depression? A. Of Mice and Men. B. Bud Not Buddy. C. To Kill a Mockingbird. Or D. The Catcher in the Rye. Which one is not set with a backdrop of the Great Depression?
And I haven't read any of these in a very long time.
I know, right? It really takes you back. A. Of Mice and Men. B. Bud Not Buddy. C. To Kill a Mockingbird. Or D. The Catcher in the Rye.
Okay. Yeah, I have my answer.
Okay. That's good. Well,
Okay.
I mean, Andy seems to know what it is. All right. What do we think? 3, 2, 1.
D.
C and D. So Will says To Kill a Mockingbird. Andy votes with literally the unanimous chat decision. Which
Oh,
is,
see, I'm not even looking at the
I
chat.
know, I
I
know.
should have done that.
because you're playing the game right.
Okay. that
Interacting
makes
with the
sense.
fans, Justin.
I have never read Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah. So the rest of them do take place during the Great Depression. Catcher in the Rye.
To be
is the
fair,
odd man
I
out.
would have guessed Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the Rye
without
is,
the
is
chat.
post World War II, so it's just a decade later. But
Yeah, because it's definitely like that's the book that doesn't deal with Great Depression problems.
Right?
It's
I
all
know.
about
Yeah.
like I'm a sad
why I
person
threw
and
it
you
in
all
there.
suck.
That makes
I
sense.
thought I'd trick you guys with it. All right. Well, Andy, you only ended 5 points behind, so really
Not bad,
overall,
not bad.
a good showing, everybody. Good showing all around, and happy Read Across America Day, everyone.
Thanks, LeVar Burton.
I have 2 degrees in English, so somewhere like the hairs on the back of my professor's neck stood up when I didn't get that question right.
They woke up in the middle of the
Yeah,
night.
they were like, "There's a disturbance in the force.
What's happening? William.
He has failed us for the last time."
Yeah, you check for your degree there, and it's gone.
Yeah.
It's just
It like
disappeared.
When I
vanishes
go
back,
to graduate from tech,
back to the
they're
future
like,
style.
"Yeah, we're looking here, and it turns out there was a mistake in your transcripts. You never got that master's degree."
Yeah.
Oh
And
no!
Socratic seminars.
But you still have the loans.
Andy and I know all. Andy Warner and I know all about Socratic seminars. Did you guys ever do Socratic seminars? Was that a thing in like high school?
Only in the original Greek.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
We had to do that. We did those. Cool. Hey, good job, guys. Pretty good. So that's all I had prepared for us to do tonight. I think it's a good time for us to cut to a break before I come back. I will be painting some cool dogs like this one.
Puppies.
Like this dog right here. Hello.
Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
there.
Looks awesome.
So I'm gonna be painting some more dogs like that, and we'll be doing that when I come back. Andy, Will, thanks so much for joining us. You guys were a blast. I hope you had fun. Anything else you want to say? Nope.
Watch
Tune
Pitfalls
in.
and Ponies on
Yes,
at
thank you.
10:30 Central Standard Time Sunday morning.
Yes.
Blood of My Blood, Friday night,
Friday
8:30
night.
Central Standard Time. Or
8.
Friday. What did I say? Did I say
No,
something
yeah,
else
no,
on the
you
right
said
day?
you said Friday.
Oh, okay. I was
Friday,
like, Graham's in the chat. He will
8,
kill me.
8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, they're all in the chat for you there, folks. It's just back on this channel, so you can come back and check them out.
Come on back,
thanks
give
again,
us a
guys.
follow.
We're gonna cut to a little break, and I'll be right back in about 5 minutes. See ya.
All right, thanks everyone.
First one: Pokemon or medicine? Januvia. Januvia. Pokemon or medicine?
Isn't that the girl from Princess Diaries?
That's the country, Genovia.
Country is Genovia. That's good. Princess of
Option C.
Genovia. So, Januvia. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Medicine.
Come on.
All right. Rebecca said medicine. Ted said Pokemon. That one is medicine.
Medicine.
That is a
Yeah.
medicine. Everybody.
What does it do?
Yeah.
What does it do? Yeah, I didn't get that information.
It does medicine.
How could you?
Okay, good.
Good. So, let's see. Keloshin, ECAT Carter, you both got it right. Congratulations.
Well
You're
done.
welcome to play the friendship game as well, although I don't think you'll catch up to them with their 50 points. All right. So, Rebecca took the lead. The next one is Tricor. Tricor. Is this a Pokemon or is this a medicine, y'all? Tricor.
Is it spelled with an E at the end or not?
It is not.
So just
Tricor.
Tricor.
Tricor. Tricor. I choose you. Tricor.
That sounds so
May cause
convincing.
constipation.
See if it's
it
right
goes
for
This
you.
isn't
either way.
God dang it. This is a harder game than I thought.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Medicine?
Pokemon.
Okay. Tricor is a medicine.
Yes!
Rebecca, you are up 10 points.
See, here's the thing. Someone, my friend Carson is playing Pokemon recently, and there was one that was like shaped like a tricorn hat or like a pirate ship or something. And I was like, "That it's the tricorn hat
It's gotta-
Pokemon."
that's the one. That's the one.
There
I
is
guess-
a
I
keychain
guess-
Pokemon, so you're not that far off.
I
Like,
think what it is
Yeah.
that I am like I have so little faith in modern Pokemon that I'm like they can take any gibberish and make it a Pokemon.
Yeah.
might as well. Might as well
Yeah.
be. Might
Alright,
as well.
Maybe I'll see if I could go for 100% failure on this. No, I'm just saying. But it's for real.
Okay. Okay. Here's the next one. Illumise. 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 At your local pharmacy. Illumise. Use quick attack. I like coming up with these two.
These are
I'm
great.
loving
Yeah,
this.
this is-
I'm
this is
loving
really
this.
good.
This is so good. Some
Um,
weird twisted, like
Wait, which one's
spelling bee.
Keloshin told us one of those was cholesterol medicine. I think Tricor. Oh yeah, because
Nice.
Januvia was diabetes medicine. Thanks,
Oh,
Keloshin.
nice.
That's where I've heard of that before. Okay.
Okay, Carter, I want to say medicine, but the past two have been medicine. It's true. Illumise.
No.
3, 2, 1.
Pokemon?
Medicine. We're switching everything.
Illumise
Is a Pokemon.
is a Pokemon.
Heck yeah, it is.
Ted, you are 0 for 3. my
I am
friend.
I'm crushing this. Oh, I'm so good at this game. It's amazing.
Yeah, no worries, Pierre. I see you. I
I'm
see you.
sweating.
We'll wait for it. So okay, great. The next one. So currently it's Rebecca's got 3. Ted
It's
has
pretty.
0.
It's very close.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
at a certain point, we're just gonna call it here.
Yeah,
But,
it's
the
Neck and
next
neck,
one.
yeah.
The next one is Celebrax.
Ooh.
Celebrax. Celebrax. Ask your doctor about Celebrax. Celebrax. Whip attack.
I feel like Celebrax's attack is
Whip
like
attack.
confetti drop.
What kind of Pokemon is Celebrax?
It's like it's a ball that opens up and confetti falls out like in Smash Bros.
That's good.
And, like the emoji.
Yeah.
It's just the emoji. They just drew eyes on it and called it a day.
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Medicine.
Medicine.
It's medicine. You both got
Yeah.
that one.
Woo! One. Oh,
I am so surprised right now. Like you have no idea.
You're killing
Celebrax
it.
has
You're
one
amazing.
attack.
No
and it's
idea what I'm talking
self-destruct.
about.
All right. 2 more.
Okay.
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 Let me pick 2 of my favorites here. Okay. Domperidone. Domperidone. Domperidone? Domperidone. Either way.
You want to spell it?
Domperidone. Domperidone.
Paradone.
Domperidone.
Don't paradone.
Doug Dimmadome.
Domperidone. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Medicine?
It is a medicine.
Okay. I was like, there's
So-
no way. I was like, there's no way.
Yep.
That's too confusing for a
And the
child.
fact that it's an E at the end, it clinched it for me. Because like Paradon, I was like, oh,
Right.
maybe it's like some sort of like rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Something.
All right. And the final one of the night, Vinblastine.
Oh,
Vinblastine.
that's-
Vinblastine. Vinblastine. Use Blast Whip. Why do I keep thinking of
You're so
whips?
good at this. Use blast whip.
Vinblastine,
like that's-
I choose you.
I feel like that's how I would be as a Pokemaster. Just use blast the vine thingy.
Use the,
like
use the thing,
Whip
the thing you always use. Come on, Vinblastine.
thingy.
Ooh, the chat's split on this one.
Oh, that's hard.
Pokemon or medicine? Pokemon or medicine? Vinblastine. 3, 2, 1.
Pokemon?
Pokemon?
Medicine. Welcome back. Yeah, you're right, Pierre. They were all medicine. Yeah, it's very true. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. If you're just joining us, I'm about to do some painting. We just had a great chat with a couple players from two of our shows that we do. But yeah, I'm gonna switch over here and do some painting. Let me just go ahead and switch. Cool. So let's chat. Let's chat here for a second because there's pros and cons. I just realized my mic's not down. My bad. There's pros and cons to doing these little guys instead of what I was doing in previous weeks, which was things like, come on, do it, do the thing. Okay, it's not just. There we go. That's what this is for anyway. Why didn't I just do that to begin with? So a Red Skull. There's not much creative freedom here necessarily. I mean, he's got a red skull and like some pretty regular clothing aside from that. So the good thing about that is that he's huge. Like comparatively, I mean, he is this large, and the next thing I'm going to paint is this large. All right, so you can see what I'm talking about with this is where problems will come up here. Is the fur detail difficult? Normally, it's not too bad. On someone this size, it could prove difficult. Although at the same time, the smaller the surface, the easier, the mistakes could be hidden. So, I mean, it's a cop-out answer, I suppose. But to show you some of like the previous dogs I've done here, there's a little beagle, right? And like I said, these guys they're not exactly meant to be seen up like on camera this close. So this is a Pomeranian that I did based on my own dog, Ivy. And then like Sinclair, I appreciate that you're always there with the right thing to say. Getting good detail on fur can get a little hairy. That's beautiful. Couldn't have said it better. Thank you, ECAT Carter. This one is based on Quinn, my other dog. You can see she's got that perfect split right down the face. That's exactly what my dog looks like. She's a ranger. I do have a pom. Yes, I do. I have a pom named Ivy, and I have an Australian cattle dog, mutt mix, named Quinn. Ivy is technically a mix too. She's a pom and a pug mixed together, so she's got like this underbite, like this, and she looks like that all the time. Thanks, Meebe. I think they're pretty cute. Here's this big boy again. He's cool. You have Pom too? Foxy and Ivy. They can be Pom pals. Pom power, nice guy. And you have a terrier named Mojo. I love it. I love it. Who else has dogs? Anybody else? Give me them dog names. I love them. So I guess what I'm getting at here is it's been easy enough to show painting, figures of a certain size on screen, but it's it's gonna be a little difficult. Here's Captain Marvel again. I did a while ago. This one I did off stream though, so you can't find it. Sorry. But these guys are gonna be a little harder. We'll see how well you can see them. But I'm gonna start with this dachshund because I love me a good wiener dog. Those guys are cute. Okay, hang on. Let me check these names here. So Meebe says we have a pom named Moose Milo. What a cutie. Andy Warner has lab mix named Chip. I love it. Dogs are great. Dogs are for everyone, for all the good times and the bad times. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Okay, let's get some paints going here. So, we like to paint. We like to paint. We like to paint on a Tuesday night. Tuesday painting. Fridays playing. Sundays playing. Does anybody else like sing to themselves? Just cuz? Cause I do a lot. Wet them brushes, wet them brushes. Pierre sings to himself when he is alone. Or even when he's not alone, he sings to himself. Alright. Okay, here's something to know about these figures and just painting in general. If I get this close enough, you can kind of see right on the top of the head, right? Here. Oh, wait, come here. Right on the top of the head, you can kind of see what we call a molding line. It's like, yeah, right there. That's a good angle. You see that like strip of plastic on the top of the head? So it technically it's it's from the production of the mini, and normally I would scrape that off because otherwise when you paint it, it just really sticks out and it looks kind of wrong. To be honest, well, I didn't realize it was there because I wasn't paying attention. So I wasn't going to do it, but I guess I will strip it off real quick. So I'm just going to take a little brush and strip this off while I have a second here. So please ignore this as I do it. It's not going to take but 20 seconds. There we go. Just got to strip it down a little bit. It's like sanding it and making it work for me, basically. Okay, now it looks a little wonky on the head, but we're gonna paint over it, so it's not gonna matter. But now it's more smooth there. Took away the line. Took away the line. You used to annoy everyone, and now you sing to your son and he loves it. So many diaper, bedtime, cooking, cleaning songs. Look, there's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to about being a parent one day. But I think that's probably like number one is just like singing. Just singing to my kid. You know? Singing with my kid. That'd be fun too. Cool. Cool. Sorry, I was having daydreams of the day that I'll have a child one day. Okay, so we have a dachshund. Now, the fun part about this, though, the problem is that they're really tiny. But the fun part is we have no prior, restrictions. Not that I could have painted Red Skull's head blue and, just kind of gone wild about it. But I'm a little too much of a Marvel fan to really mess with things like that. So, but with this, we have free reign. So I guess what we're asking is, what color is this bad boy? What color fur does he have? What color cape is billowing back behind him? He's clearly a Doctor Strange-esque sorcerer. He's got like this little like amulet right there, like a little Eye of Agamotto looking thing. So we'll paint that like gold maybe. But what color should his clothes be? The Roddy color scheme? Is that a Rottweiler? Really bad with dog breeds. I'm gonna look up Rottweiler puppy. No, not for sale. I just want a picture of one. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, what did I just do to myself? I just looked up Rottweiler puppies. These minis, what are they used for? That's a good question. Yeah, my wife's gonna wake up in the morning and we're gonna have like 4 puppies. These, they're used, technically speaking, so they're from I don't think I have the box anymore. They were from a Kickstarter called Dungeons and Doggies, and it was like 12 cool dogs, and it came with like an adventure and like a kind of like a source book. It was all based on D&D 5th edition. So yeah, technically speaking, therefore, like, role-playing miniatures and stuff like that. I've used them one time. Earlier, Andy mentioned a one-shot that we played together with them, and we did that. A bunch of friends, we all we used to go to the dog park together back when that was a thing that you could do with people. And so we got the group from the dog park together, and we all did a D&D one-shot where we basically played D&D versions of our own dogs, which was fun. kind of. Most of us played our versions of our own dogs. So yeah, it was really cool. I was really proud of it. That's, you know, I love doing that with one shots, kind of keeping that conversation going. Okay, so we're gonna go based off a bit of a Rottweiler puppy look here. So luckily I have some black already going here. Get it a little wet again here because it got thicker. I know, people together in real life. What a crazy concept, right? I'm glad I have you all here on this stream with me. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, you can support us a bunch by giving us a follow. Making sure that you're there, and you know, the next time that we stream and whatnot. We stream on, so I'm gonna go for the head here. Go for the head. We stream on you know, Tuesday nights and Friday nights, Sunday mornings, different things. So this, like, the beginning, if this is the first paint live paint that you've watched, it never looks like much in the beginning, but you gotta stick around, because the more color you add to it, the more it starts to take shape, especially on camera. You know, it's a little harder to see, so I'm gonna do my best to make sure I'm rotating it enough and whatnot. Yeah, nice guy, bad gamer. Thanks for watching Blood of My Blood. It's killer, right? Graham is doing such a crazy job. I love it. I love playing in it. It's an honor to play with guys like Will and Emma. And also there's this guy named Ted who's pretty okay. Alright, we're getting the face kind of done. Story is great and freaky. I know, right? I don't think it's a spoiler for me to mention that this week we're going to have another member of the team joining us. I don't know if we've talked about that before, but there he's got a little mask on now. It's kind of coming together there. Yeah, we're having a 5th party member, and I'm excited to see where that takes us, what that means for the group, and specifically the climactic cliffhanger that we left it on when we finished last time. If you haven't been watching Blood of My Blood, the VODs are on Twitch right now. You can go on this channel and check them out. They're not long episodes by any means, so I would highly recommend catching up because it's not too late. Alright. Let's see. That's pretty good. Just get that little bit there. My nails are way too nice. Are they? You know, ECAT Carter tells me all the time that I have nice fingers or hands, not fingers. That's weird to say. Anyway, thank you everyone. It's not too late. It's never too late. I could be a hand model. Well, if this ever, you know, if this channel doesn't take off, that's my next hobby. Okay. And we gotta paint the nose black. There we go. Not bad. Not bad for first little bit of fur there. I'm gonna add some texture to it later, of course, but Oh, Impartial Pierre, you're on the last 3 episodes of Childish Things. What are you thinking so far? I mean, keep it spoiler free in case anybody else wants to go back and watch, but I don't know. Thoughts? Would it have been better if I had done something else? Wait, your mom says so too? Cat Carter, what? Thank you. I assume you're talking about my hands. Thanks, nice guy. I sure do got pretty fingers. Yeah. Thanks. Oh my gosh, everybody's talking about my phalanges now. How embarrassing. Okay, what color should we make the attire on this wiener dog? So obviously there's this big flowing cape, which is gonna take up that's gonna be the biggest pop of color. So what color are we thinking of for that? Versus the undergarments here, which will be kind of hidden a little more. So we want to do like a big red cape and like a dark blue, you know, garments underneath, or vice versa, or blue. Keep it like all in the blue, the cool palette. We want to do like the. What are we thinking, guys? Drink some water. Doctor Strange vibes. See, I think that's immediately where I was going to, with the red cape and the dark blue underneath. Should I just stick with that? What's up, D Lowenthal? Thanks for the follow earlier, by the way. Glad you stopped by. We're painting a dachshund right now. Which is, oh, there you go, that's a good angle. So, a little hard to see, but we just started on the fur. For some reference, here's some of the other dogs we've painted. Anyway, thanks for checking us out, man. It's good to hear from you. Impartial Pierre says, honestly, the only criticism I would have is that I wasn't a part of it. That's a fun story, the 5 of you did it. Thank you very much, Pierre. Appreciate that, man. Means a lot, especially coming from you. You're a harsh critic. Yeah, I'm very proud of Childish Things. That was a really fun experience for us, and obviously it kickstarted everything that we're doing now on the channel, which is so rewarding in many ways. Let's see, throw some browns in here. Okay, is anybody opposed, or does anybody have a better idea than to make this a Doctor Strange puppy? Big red cape, blue undergarments, Eye of Agamotto. I mean, it's hard to beat. We got to come up with a puppy name. What's a good puppy or a dog name? Dogter Strange. Off the top of the dome. It's a gift for you, chat. You're welcome. Underdog. Yes. That's good. It's good, Pierre. I like it. I like it. We're doing it. We're doing it, guys. Here we go. All right. Let's get some. I already have a bunch of red, so I think I can just kind of revitalize that a little bit. We're going to do the blue first, though. Benedict Cumber puppy. Oh, that's pretty good. Dogter Mange. That's good. D Lowenthal, that is some good stuff right there. Pupper Strange. These are all great. These are all so good. Yeah, Benedict Cumber puppy is good stuff. I like it. Okay, so let's jump back in here. I'm gonna add a little bit of a darker tone to this blue. Just throw a little bit of black in there. Darken it up a little bit. Nice. Speaking of Doctor Strange, you guys. Now, to be clear, no spoilers. No spoilers in the chat. And I will say nothing, but WandaVision? Am I right? Come on, guys. Who's enjoying that show right now? It's good stuff. The finale comes out this week. Peter Barker. That's good. I love that. Maybe the next dog we do, we can call Peter Barker, and get going on that. Right? Yeah, WandaVision. It's insane. It's insane. I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna ECAT Carter here. I know that she hasn't watched it yet. So again, no spoilers, but it's good stuff. And I'm really pumped for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. As I mentioned before, Andy, my guest, tonight, we have a podcast, MC Who, where we we create Marvel movies. And recently we have been making WandaVision kind of like reviews, if you will. If you can call them that, really. They're more like conversations. We're not really reviewing much, I guess. We're analyzing. But alright, let's start there on the blue. Pierre, you haven't watched yet either, huh? D. Lowenthal, has anyone ever watched a superhero show or movie without any action scenes? It's true. I mean, there's not many, huh? I have a feeling, well, yeah. No spoilers. No spoilers. Could also have done a team pain with Howling Commando. Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Howling Commandos. Well, that's okay. Howling Commandos is the name of this team after we assemble all of them. Good job. Good call, Simquai. Yeah. I will gladly do a movie marathon with you, maybe. We will get that going post-COVID, or even through watch parties during COVID. Some of you, Pierre and ECAT Carter, we did a watch party on Saturday night in celebration of Spellbound podcast that we all love, that Emma runs with some other friends of the channel. We watched Hunt for the Wilder People. Oh, I've never seen it. It's so good. Anybody who loves Taika Waititi, anything that man has done, you have to check it out. Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows, or it's got serious Jojo Rabbit vibes to it, but it's such a good movie. And I've had the song. If you've seen the movie, I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about when I say this. But the song that she plays on the what's the boy's name? Baker. If you haven't seen the movie, I probably look weird doing that. But if you have, you know what I'm talking about. Ricky Baker, thank you. Ricky Baker, Ricky Baker, I've had that song stuck in my head like all weekend. So catchy. Anyway. Let's see. Okay. So the good thing about this figure being so small is that there's not much space, and therefore it's going to go very fast. That song is in the movie trailer. Perfect. Perfect. What was I about to look up? Something. I don't remember. Anyway. Anybody watch the
Golden Globes. I mean, I didn't, so I can't actually talk too much about them, but I did read the list of winners, and looks like I really need to go watch season 4 of The Crown, because my wife and I just finished season 3, and we were like, yeah, that's pretty good. But apparently, according to the Golden Globes, season 4 is like insanely good, so it won like all the awards last night, or 2 nights ago. Yeah. You listened to it like 3 times? Yeah, it's good stuff. And I still haven't seen Borat, like the new Borat. It's also on my list. Gotta watch it. But it took home a couple awards last night too. Again, Sunday night. Damn it. Okay. I think we're about ready to go to the Cape here. Yeah, I was wrong. I do need some more red. Some of you know I work at a board game store, which is the coolest sentence anybody could really say. Um, but you know, it's been really dead lately there, just because the weather got nice and everybody's like too busy working outside and doing stuff. I mean playing, playing outside and doing stuff. So today I ended up just on this topic of singing to myself. I ended up like singing to myself most of the day, just like alone. Yeah, D. Lowenthal, you've been there. You know what I'm talking about. Awesome board game store. All right, so anybody who's watched my previous paints, you might notice I'm doing something very different than what I have done in the past. And you know, typically I would do, at least with the Marvel figures, I've been doing cell shading. So I've been starting with darker colors and then bringing it up to the lighter colors. The thing is, with this little guy, there's so little going on. I'm just going to do a simple kind of, you know, this is going to be like a speed paint, really. So I'm just doing some basic flats, and then I'll go back in with some shades and then some highlights and just kind of do it that way. So it's not really, I guess it doesn't demand the same detail that those chibi figures do, which is fine, which is totally okay. You ever play games on dead days with coworkers? So yes, I do. I end up playing games with, so the game store is attached to a coffee shop. And so I end up playing games with the people who work at the coffee shop a lot of the time. Because typically on the game store side, it's usually just like me working alone. Because it's a small store. There's really not much need for more than one employee at a time. Usually. But yeah, I end up playing like some, you know, Love Letter or Fox in the Forest or Hive. Just some simple games with the people over in the coffee shop. Oof. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm darkening this red a little bit so I can get the underside of the cape darker than the upper side. The upper side? Top side? And with this red, because it's so, I don't know, red, I'm gonna have to go through and do, so you can kind of see right there the angle, maybe
the upper cape, the top of the cape is like bright red, and the bottom of the cape is like a dark red, just to give the appearance of some sort of shadow. Did I paint any of the figures behind me? I don't know what's behind me. I'll check in a second and answer your question. If I played Talk. No, but I just saw it. Low and tall. It's hard. I just saw that in our store yesterday, and I was like, "What is this game?" Because it's just like with like little wooden pieces. It almost looks like a Checkers or something like that. But then I saw it was based on Kingkiller Chronicles, and I was much more intrigued. Have you played it? Is it good? Is it as simple as it looks? Or is there more hidden beneath the waves? Super fun. Games are fast and there's good strategy. Sick. Hey, thanks. Thanks, Cat Carter. You're the best. Couldn't do this without you. Go enjoy your reading. Go over to Pooh Corner for me. Yeah, I'll see you next time. So, to answer your question there, maybe. Alright. I did not paint any of these action figures. Or these action figures. Or these bobbleheads. Or that bobblehead. But, not that you can see it, but down here on this shelf are like most of the minis that I've painted. There's like a dragon back there. We'll do a, one of these days we'll do like a tour of my whole workspace. And I'll show you the things I've painted and the things I haven't. Those of you who paint know about the pile of shame, which is just something that we lovingly refer to as all of those minis that we've bought because they're so cool looking and then just haven't gotten around to actually painting. Honestly, that's the biggest gift that this channel has brought me, is forcing me to paint every week, because otherwise I would not find the time. And it kind of forces it upon me, which I appreciate. Very much so. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for keeping me honest here. Okay. So, starting to come together. Starting to get our Doctor Strange look. You can kind of see there's a pretty good angle there. It's getting there. Got to detail some of the cool stuff there. Hey, good night, Kate. Thanks so much. Thanks for stopping in, chilling. See you next time. Force paint. Did I miss something? Did I say force paint at some point? What are we talking about? Alright. I'm gonna get some of that brown I was talking about in here. Let's see, should we do let's do the leather brown. Oh, yeah, thank you. It's funny, I forgot that I even said that at all. So thanks for the reminder, Pierre. Yes, it is force paint. I am being forced to paint against my will. And I love it. Alright. We're just gonna have some fun here. With this light brown. Now it's a little bright, but the thing is, some of you may remember last time I showed you a I was about to say syrup. That's not right. What am I trying to say? A shade. a shade like Citadel, Agrax Earth Shade or something like that. And basically, you put it on top of your paints there, and it gives it a beautiful shade. And it ultimately just kind of darkens everything, which I like for some figures, and for others I think it kind of darkens it too much. So what I've learned is that I can make things a little brighter, and then here we go, there's his little face. Can you see it? He's got dark eyes. Yeah, the black was hard to find. Anyway. So yeah, with that shade, it's going to darken everything, but since I made everything a little brighter, it kind of counterbalances a little bit. And then when I go back in with the highlight, in the end, it should make everything pop, which is the goal. So I know this first coat doesn't look like much. It's just kind of like, hey, just slathered some paint on there. But it's not even halfway. We still have a little bit to go here. I'm gonna do some black as the base on this amulet. Because, as I learned last week with Ant-Man, putting metallic on nothing does not make it pop as well. So I'm going to start with black there instead, and then when I go back in with the gold, it will ultimately make it look nice. Is the goal. It's the goal. We'll see. So I was planning on trying this new local Mexican food place tonight, and when I called in my order for carryout, they were too busy to take it. I got really sad because I was really looking forward to it. So I didn't get the Mexican food I was after tonight. Alas, another day, another taco. What's your favorite Mexican food? Chat. It's a good sign. No, it's very good, and I'm very happy that local business is being supported right now. As I'm sure many of you can tell from my handle, nachos are by far my favorite Mexican food. If they can be called Mexican. I mean, technically speaking, nachos aren't really a real Mexican food, but it counts for the purposes of this question. Yeah, nachos or enchiladas. Ooh, carnitas. Guacamole, I love guacamole. Tortas, yes. Yes. Okay, this was a bad question because now I'm just getting hungry. Alright. Smear that off there. Uh-oh. Oh, it's erupting. If we're talking Taco Bell, it's the Doritos Locos Taco Supreme. Sick. Those are good. Yeah, what's your Taco Bell order? That's really that's how you really know somebody, is when you figure out what their Taco Bell order is. For me, it is a chicken quesadilla and a nachos Bel Grande. I said grande like a person who says it wrong. I've never said that before, and I'm kind of embarrassed that I said it like that on stream. Grande. Guys, I'm like half Mexican. I'm ashamed. All right. Oop, got a little hair there. They don't have nachos Bel Grande anymore. Yes, they do. Don't lie to me like that. What are you talking about, discontinued? I just went there like last week. I think they don't have the Nacho Supreme. They have the Bel Grande, right? Guys. Don't tell me like this. Not like this. This can't be how I go down. All right. Yeah, I saw the Mexican pizza was gone, but to be honest with you, I haven't had Taco Bell Mexican pizza since high school. It just never looks as appetizing when I go anymore. Kind of called it quits on that. Sorry, I know this isn't much fun to look at. I'm trying to get this one angle though. One day I will upgrade my camera setup here and then it'll be better, but that day is not today, friends. Pierre, I knew I loved you for a reason. You and me and our love of Weird Al will go on forever. Yeah. Weird Al. I have a... I can't get it right now. Remind me next stream to tell you or to show you the Weird Al poster that I have. Because it's like, it's Weird Al mixed with like Days of Future Past. And it looks like a comic book cover. But it's cool. Anyway. Yeah, Weird Al was both my first concert I ever went to, and it was also the last concert I went to before quarantine. So I love me some Al, is the point that I'm trying to make. Alright, wait. You're simple with your order. 3 Doritos Locos Tacos Supremes, and a bean burrito extra cheese. Woof. Do you just smell like beans the rest of the night? Because I feel like you would. Weird Al Running with Scissors. Yes! That's so good. I think my first one that I had a CD was Bad Hair Day. Or was it... no, I think it was Bad Hair Day. It might have been Poodle Hat. Just mostly farts. Meeby weirdly likes the chips and cheese. It's not really cheese. Yeah, I think we're all aware. Just deny. We choose to deny that fact. You had vinyl Weird Al? Oh my gosh, D. Lowenthal. That is dope. You still have them? I love it. I love it. Yes, Vegas. Nice guy, bad gamer. You were not there, but you were there, kind of, when I saw Weird Al last. Probably somewhere. Better get on it. You better get on it, Lowenthal. Alright. So now we have a little more detailing going on. Oh boy, that is not very good lighting, huh? A little bit of lighting going on underneath. I mean, lighting. A little bit of detail going on underneath. This is just one of those figures that is not going to show up well on camera, I think. The face is hard to see. Alright, well, we still got the flat colors. So I'm about to start doing the shades, and then we can do the highlights, and we will call, hang on, what was this guy's name again? I gotta scroll back up through the chat to find it. Pupper Strange, Dogter Mange. I think that's what it was, yeah? Dr. Mange. I like that one. Dr. Mange. Started collecting vinyl 2 years ago. Always pleasantly surprised at what's available. It's true. I started a small collection after I inherited some from my grandma after she passed away. And ultimately I decided my vinyls were gonna have to be like my comic books, where I really just I can't buy every one that I want, and instead it's like a rare treat where I get myself one that I know is, you know, tried and true and that I love deeply. That's kind of how my comic book journeys have had to be. I just read everything digitally. It honestly helps a lot with just keeping trying to keep a minimal amount of stuff in this apartment, because I have a lot of passions and hobbies, as you can see. Again, all of this, right? These board games behind me, that's most of the board games I own, but I have like 8 others somewhere else. And I know, like, I mean, for most people, that's not a huge collection by any means. Considering where my collection was this time last year, it's over doubled in size. And I haven't been able to play most of them because of quarantine. Alright guys, we're gonna jump into some shading. And by that I mean I am just gonna put some shade on this guy. Just some oil basically. And let that do the work for me. Because again, it's just a speed paint. Shade, shade, shade. Shade, shade. You love to see it, Dark Plane. Love to see it. What are you up to tonight, Dark Plane? Chilling? Prepping for Friday, huh? Trying to decide how to kill me? Okay. We're gonna go with a brown tint. So I have to be careful because last time I almost knocked this over. You watched Hellraiser and ate a pizza. Sounds like wonderful. That sounds wonderful. How do you even have time for that? It's great. What am I doing? Wrong brush, wrong brush. Tiago mustn't die. Tiago's not gonna die. Not this episode, at least. I hope. We'll see. We will see what happens. You know, I just decided. I don't want to do brown. I want to do black. We're gonna go back and grab the black. It's your only free night for a while. Well, I'm glad you got to enjoy it the way you wanted to, my dude. That's very important. Gotta have that self-care. Slathering on some shade on the dog. His name is Dr. Mange, and he is super strange because he's a dog who wears a cape. That's real fun, but don't you jape at the fact that he's a dog with magical powers. I lost track. Yeah, that really stopped. Yeah, Dr. Mange, you like it? Who came up with that one? Was that D. Lowenthal? I think it was. Alright. Back at it. Back in the saddle again. Oops. I don't think I'm allowed to sing actual songs. Borkser. Sorcerer Supreme. I like that. Yeah, if there's one thing I know about Dark Plane, it's that his favorite superhero is this guy right here, the Sorcerer Supreme. He looks super wet right now. I gotta wait for them to dry. And then I'm gonna do some dry brushing as highlights, and then we will call this one a wrap. And I think we'll probably call this one a wrap for the night too, just because I have had a long day. And I could use some extra sleep tonight, so not quite yet, but after I let this dry for a second and then do some dry brushing and some highlights, I think we'll call it a night. Again, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Like, again, I'm not actually done. I know it sounds like I am. But I just wanted to say real quick, if you haven't yet, we'd appreciate a follow. If you want to, like, you know, check out more streams in the future. At the end of the stream tonight, I am going to be rating another streamer. Let's see, who should we be rating tonight? There's well, Atomic Mango Mom is still on. We rated her last week though, so maybe we should find somebody new. Let's see. Useless Wizard. Let's see what Useless Wizard's doing. Useless Wizard. They went offline. Okay. Well, yeah, we might just go with Atomic Mango Mom again. Why not? Unless we can find somebody else. I don't know. Is it weird to raid the same person twice? Anybody more familiar with Twitch than me have an answer for that? Is that like a weird thing to do? Why not? It's not weird. Thanks, Pierre. Yeah, I really liked her art too. We'll probably just raid her again, because I can't look around too much more. She's got some cool stuff going on, so we'll check her out in a little bit. But first, we gotta finish Dogter Mange, the Sorcerer Supreme. Cruzard gets rated every Monday by the same channel. Okay. Cool. Yeah, if you guys haven't watched Cruzard, by the way, that's founding member of... Let me see if this works. Yeah, check it. You can find his Twitch page in the chat there. But I highly recommend going and checking out him, giving him a follow. He's a founding member of Ghostlight RPGs. Anybody who's watched Childish Things knows Ryan played So-So in Childish Things. Yeah, he's great. He has his own channel, Cruzard, where he, you know, puts... What was I gonna say? Puts? No. He plays... Sorry, I'm multitasking too much right now. He plays... Man, I gotta figure out a better system of drying here. Is it weird if I just bring my blow dryer out and do it on stream? I'll have to think about that for next time. Anyway, he puts on... he plays... many things. He's great. But also, he... what am I trying to say right now? My goodness, my brain shut off, you guys. He is playing in the Rust server with Felicia Day and a bunch of other crazy, awesome people like Critical Bard and some others. in a big role-playing game, which is awesome. He's been doing that for a little while, and they've all been messing around in Rust. And he's got some really cool videos on it. So anyway, recommend checking him out. Where did I come up with my channel name? That's a really good question. So anybody maybe from the theater world knows what a ghost light is. It is a light, just a single pole, with a light bulb on it. And whenever a theater goes dark for the night, whenever the show is over and everybody's gone home, they, a stagehand or somebody will wheel out the light, plugged in, and it stays on all night long while the theater is dark. That way, if, somebody comes in, you can see where the edge of the stage is, basically, so you're not walking off the edge of the stage. But, when we created Ghostlight RPGs, it was originally called Ghostlight Gamers, but the Ghostlight aspect was really the most important thing for us, because at the time, the pandemic had just started, and theaters were going dark everywhere, Our art wasn't being able to stick around, with good reason, of course. Everything needed to take a break to try and get some sort of stability going around in the country. But again, we wanted, as theater artists, to be able to keep telling stories and find a way to get it to an audience. And so that's where we decided to do a Twitch channel and through our love of role-playing games, kind of tell more stories. So Darkblade ghost lights are very real. They saved me from injury a number of times. Yeah, they are kind of creepy, but also very sentimental for theater people. Yeah, and that's kind of like that's the thing, right? It's a safe place, right? It represents so many things, like a safety, a beacon in the darkness, but also just like a bit of like, yeah, when you're alone in the theater and it's just you and that ghost light on stage, like, it's a little creepy. There's some there's some dark plain horror aspects to it. Yeah. Thanks, Meebe. Okay, guys. I was really hoping this wasn't going to take so long to dry. I think I probably rushed it a little too much and put the paint on a little too thick, which is a problem. So I'm going to start doing some highlighting on the face and try to work my way around, and hopefully the cape will be done by the time I get there. But to do some highlights, I'm just going to do some dry brushing here. So I'm going to take my really crappy brush. It's really dry and like harsh. And I'm just going to use a bit of, where is it? There it is. I like to use desert sand as a dry brush coat. I think it kind of gives everything some definition. Almost makes it look like there's a little bit of like snow or something on the fur, which is fun. Dry it off, dry it off, dry it off, and then just... Whoops. Maybe I didn't dry it off too much. Or enough. It's always a danger. Okay, not bad. Might be a little too much white in that one, so we're gonna go a little darker on the under here. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Just trying to clean up some of this underneath here. just about done. Not bad, not bad. Hey, I'm glad. I love the music too. Just some nice royalty-free lo-fi. Gotta love it. Ooh, I almost forgot to do the amulet. Of course. Gotta get that amulet going on. Excuse me. Excuse me. Alright. Got a little gold here. Now I'm going to... Where's my thing? You know, my thing. Where is it? Can't find it. That's annoying. The one time I actually want to use that little thing. Alright, instead I'm going to use this paper plate. Because this gold is one I do not want to put on here. I made that mistake last week and I don't want to do it again. I'm going to put the gold in this paper plate instead, just because it has little bits of metallic in there and that can really affect my wet palette here. So try to avoid that. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like the music so much. Good. I do as well. It helps me focus, you know? It's just one of those things. Got that gold chain. Kind of see it there. I'm gonna give him a little green gem in the middle of it, a little time stone. Ooh, that needs to be shaken. Shake, 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 shake your paints. Otherwise they will be not the color you want them to be. Okay. Just a little bit. And drop it right there. More, a little more. There we go. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, that looks dope. I need to do something better with his eyes, though, right? The eyes just feel a little lackluster to me. They're black at the moment. I'm going to add a little bit of white to them, see if that helps. Fire. He's so hot, that Dogter Mange. That Benedict Cumber puppy. Okay, well, I got one eye. That's if there's one thing I've found about painting eyes, it's usually that I get one looking exactly the way I want it, and then I mess up the second one, and I'm like, ah, I gotta fix it. Redo it all. Okay, not bad. Let's do a little more highlights red on this coat here. Make it pop pop, make it pop. Sick. A little more. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Think we're about there. A little too much, a little too much. Got a little excited. A little excited. All right. Yeah, I'll do the grass on it eventually. Nice guy. I don't know. That's it. Just takes glue and some little grass pad things. It's not as exactly as exciting to watch. Not that this is super exciting. I don't know. But yes, I will do the grass on this one to make him match the others. Not bad. Okay. Alright, at some point I just have to say I'm done because it's so hard to stop touching it up. Thanks, Pierre. Thanks, Meeby. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. All I was missing is some tacos. Yeah, for real. Honestly, like, I was having a real bad migraine today. And I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't stream tonight. Or maybe I should just do the interview and then I'll just not paint. I don't even know if people like watching me paint. It's kind of like a, whatever. But I'm glad you guys stuck around. And I'm really happy that I stuck around and actually painted. And just chilled with you because my migraine went away. I don't even remember when it happened, but it went away a long time ago. And I have found that I'm just really enjoying just chatting with you guys. So thanks so much for being there to give me that gift of escaping. I appreciate it. Yeah, for real. What do I do for my migraines? You're looking at it. I don't really do much, I guess. I take some medicine. I don't even know what kind of medicine it is, to be honest with you. That's how little, like, I actually, like, think about medicines and stuff like that. Which is not ideal, I know. But I think the migraines are like a newer thing for me, so I'm still trying to kind of figure out how to handle them. But yeah, for real, Tiger Balm for the win. I think I have some Tiger Balm, and I will utilize it. Thank you. That's a good call. Okay, folks. For now, I think we're pretty much done with our boy Dr. Mange. Okay, let's see if we can get like a really clean shot here. Just that light. Ooh, that is a hot light. Hot light? Stop shaking. Stop shaking. Okay. Here's our guy. Here he is. Look at that cape. Look at that cape, y'all. Ooh, that's fly. That is a sick cape. Yeah. Not bad. It's hard to see the face, but that's just because it's on camera. I promise you, it looks pretty good in person. Thanks, nice guy. Appreciate it. Tiger Balm on the temples, 2 Advil, 2 Tylenol. Done. Okay. I don't even have a migraine anymore, but that sounds fantastic, so I'm just going to go do that anyway. Rub it into your temples and under your nose to breathe it in. That's good. I just breathed in as if it was already there. That's how much I wanted it. I just asked because I get one once 3 months. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Hydration. I think that's what caused it today, was lack of hydration. I honestly don't really do caffeine. I just don't do caffeine. Not that I'm against it by any means. I'll drink a chai latte sometimes, but I don't know. It's just, yeah, water is usually my go-to. But yeah, hydration is key for sure. Yeah. Sick, guys. 2 straight weeks. Oh no. 3 ibuprofen and a can of Pepsi. Wow. Well, thanks for the tips, everyone. I will try those methods. Little caffeine, little medicine, little Tiger Balm, and lots of water. And sleep. Good to know. So, now I know how to handle migraines. You can screenshot that and cool, guys. So next week, I'll have 2 more guests on. I'm hoping to snag our new player for Blood of My Blood, and get her on there. But we'll see if she's available. And then I'll definitely get one of the 2 remaining members that I haven't had from Pitfalls and Ponies on here too. Again, hopefully, if schedule's pending. But regardless, I'll be back next week painting some more. I don't know if we want to do another pup or if we want to do another Marvel character. Any thoughts, chat? We could do Black Widow next week. She's pretty dope. Maybe do Black Widow next week. Black Widow! Yeah. I'm kind of leaning towards her. Her or Ultron. There's Ultron as well. He just looks nefarious. Don't make me wait any longer. Alright, we'll do Black Widow. We'll do Black Widow and hope that Black Widow will be seen by all eventually this year. I'm itching for some Black Widow movie. Okay, guys. So we'll plan on doing Black Widow next week. Thanks for watching me paint Dr. Mange tonight. He will join the Howling Commandos in my shelf. On my shelf. Like I said, we're gonna raid Atomic Mango Mom, She's drawing some really cool art right now, so we'll just pop in there, say hi. You know, as always, give her a little watch and you know, support her work. Follow her if you haven't already. She's such a good artist. Dark Plane, I'll try not to. Dude, Florence Pugh, you and me both. We can crush on Florence Pugh the whole session next week. Hang on, I gotta cut out of this. So, we're gonna raid Atomic Mango Mom. As always, just be kind to her. But thanks so much for watching. I'll be back next week. We're gonna be painting Black Widow. Have some more guests on. Make sure you check out Blood of My Blood on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Central on this channel, and also Pitfalls and Ponies on Sunday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Both are fantastic stories so far, and I'm excited to see where they both go. So until then, thanks so much for watching, and stick around for that raid. We'll see ya.